Greetings and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always good to see you. And yes, I see you. I can see you. No, I can't see you with my regular eyes, but I can see you with my mind's eye. I can see you with my third eye. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. What I would like to do today is kind of go over a process that I've been going through recently, the past month. I think a few of you are probably Facebook followers of mine. If you're not, you should consider doing that. Hint, hint. And like and subscribe while I'm on it and be done with that. You know how I really hate kind of going through all of that stuff. Anyways, the Loveseat therapist. I am not a doctor. I have no medical degree. I have no idea what I'm talking about except my own personal experience. I'm just a random person on the internet, okay? This is not medical advice. I'm not trying to diagnose anybody. I am just relating what I've been going through recently and thinking that maybe at least one other person is probably going through something similar or has or might in the near future, and that this would be an important sharing for you guys. And I keep hearing that I need to share this stuff, so here we go. We are sharing this. So about a month ago, I left my partner of 8 months. We had been living together. Started out, it was the perfect match. We had everything in common. It was amazing. The energy, the intimate stuff, everything was so perfect. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that's ever had something like that happen in their past. It's really hard when, as you're going through your life, those months with somebody, when you find out that they're not really the person that you thought they were. And that happens a lot. We have our ideas of what we think people should be like or who they should be. And this is something that I'm working on for myself, to try to remind myself that I really just want to look at me, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm doing, who I'm becoming, who I want to be, and stop worrying about what everybody else is and who they are, who they're going to be and what they're going to do and what they're going to say. Trying to detach myself from those expectations of what I think other people should be doing or who I think they should be. All that to say that sometimes that kind of stuff happens. You meet somebody and it looks like one thing, and then it turns out to be something else. It's the same kind of thing happens when you go to a location or a venue of something. You walk in, you may have an immediate impression, but then flags start coming up. Little red flags, little warnings, things that maybe aren't really, everything isn't always as it seems. We get better with our discernment as we start exercising and practicing it. So note to self, discernment is not a bad tool to have in your little toolkit. So, but this is somebody that has BPD, borderline personality disorder. I thought it was narcissism because evidently those are similar. They're actually called sister conditions, disorders. And again, I'm not diagnosing anybody. This is just what I've learned. He has a history, his family has a history of spectrum issues. So this is not something I'm making up, but it is something that I had to deal with and that I wanted to share, just kind of the process. It's really like when you break up with somebody, at least for me, it's kind of like a death. You have an idea of what you think this is going to do, what this relationship is going to be. And then when you find out over time that your image doesn't match the actual reality, it's like a death. And there's a grieving process involved, and I'm still going through that. But one of the things that I've learned is that this grieving process, it's not like a one and done. This is one of those spiral processes that just seems to go on and on and on forever. But just like all of the other spiral processes, it really does, as you remove yourself from the lower depths of the energetic cycles and start moving into higher energetic cycles, it gets easier. The load gets lighter. There's just less crap that you're carrying around with you. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the standard grieving process for when somebody dies. And this is based on the Kubler-Ross work that was done. I like this particular image because it's in a circle. A lot of them are set up like a pyramid kind of thing, which is kind of the one and done. But it's not my experience. I've had people that have actually died. My mom died when I was 17, so I kind of got an early exposure to that. And this cycle is a spiral. It's not a cycle. It's not a one and done. This is an ongoing process, but we start out with grief. We start out with the knowledge that from this point forward, we're never going to see this person again. We're never going to touch that skin. And that's hard. There's real grief there, you know? You can hear that. And so you start out with this, just an over-enveloping cloud of grief. And the first reaction to that is denial. Denial. No way. That did not happen. That did not happen to me. This is not happening again. I refuse. No, this is not happening. And that denial creates this anger. You're angry at that person for letting you down. You're angry at yourself for letting you down, for not being able to hold the course, for not being able to stay in the relationship. And all of that is so depressing. And all of the tears and all of the wailing. And eventually you get to a point where you start making these, okay, well, maybe if I do this, it'll be better. Maybe if I do that, maybe if I give up this, and let's look at these in real specific detail. What are you bargaining with? We know about depression and anger and denial and grief, but what's this bargaining thing? If I am more kind, if I am more loving, if I am less judgmental, if I am less controlling, I will have better relationships. Now, this is all true. Those aren't the bargaining tools. Those are part of acceptance. Bargaining is, if I go to this place, maybe they'll be there. If I post this thing online, maybe they'll respond. If I text them, maybe I can work something out with them. No. You have to treat this like a death. If this is a real, for sure, this was the only thing that you could do. You come to acceptance. You understand the reasons. You understand the why. But you're going to go back into grief again. And it goes into this spiral. So what I found interesting was this whole process feels very much like the process for elevating your energy in general. And I forget the reference for this, and I apologize. Somebody in the comments can throw that in there. But this is the energetic cycles that we go through in general. We start out, if something bad happens, something negative happens, something that we did not want to have happen, like a breakup, you feel shame. You failed. You let them down. You let yourself down, and you go through this whole process. Shame, fear, anger. We recognize that one, yes, from our other cycle. These are all very dense energies. I'm not going to say they're negative. They're just very dense. They require a lot of your personal energetic force in your body to stay in, to maintain. And a lot of people work really hard on maintaining these lower energetic, deep levels. I have no interest in doing this. I want to get out of here as fast as possible. So I'm looking for getting up, getting out, going through that process, going through that grieving process, and using it to bring in will and desire and reason. Those are kind of the bargaining kind of things where we're processing. This is all a process, and eventually you get to neutrality and acceptance. And this is where the grief cycle ends on our grieving. Well, we can take it another step. We can take it another few steps. We can go past acceptance, where we just kind of trudge along. It's the Eeyore people. It's the folks that you know that are just like, yeah, this is bad. I feel bad. You know, that's acceptance. Okay. That's better than fighting it. Yes. But it's not going to get you healed. It's not going to get you out of the spiral permanently. The only thing it is courage, taking that step, going out to an event that maybe you would not want to go to because you were in this grieving process. Go to the event. Get the courage to post something online. Maybe set up a profile on one of the dating websites. I don't know. Whatever works best for you. But have the courage to leave it behind, to move forward from acceptance into courage. You start making those courageous steps and you are going to feel joy. You are going to feel that emotion of happiness, of fulfillment, peace, love, oneness. These all come from leaving that grieving process behind and taking that powerful step. So I really want to ask you a question. And I want a serious answer. If this is something that you've been going through, I want you to put down in the comments what you found to be most helpful with this video, if anything. If you have other ideas for other things that you would like me to talk about. And just in general, share kind of where you're at and if this was helpful at all. So that's what I've got for you for today. This is a timeless, so whenever you find this, it is the right time for you to have this, and I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that it gave you something to bring you some clarity and guidance. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao for now.